wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, Oshawa, who in this time revealed himself to us in the personality of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. My name is Zikraniga Shakanai Tafarai, the poet. I've been doing a few poems for you guys, I hope you enjoy. This one is called Money Are the Cry. Money are the cry and a poverty messiah and the people them a die through money. And if me walk on the street and me walk bare feet with nothing to eat at the eat, them a do it through money. And if me can't get a dent and me can't find a cent and me can't pay the rent and me move in a tent a through money. Watch your food just a spoil and the rich them a smile and the poor just a tile and my pocket can't style through money. And the rain just a fall and the youth them a ball and a true white squall and me can't help at all through money. Watch you hungry them a die and the poor just a cry. And me ask Jaja why, cause a sigh me a sigh why they can't get a blind for all money. So me go down on my knees and to Jaja me a plead. Watch you then them a do it through money. Cause money are the cry and a poverty messiah and the people them a die through
money.
Last year. In the wind I hear oppression and cry, a cry from the African land. A cry from each and every one that have been oppressed there. They have been oppressed and afflicted. They have been oppressed and destroyed. They have been oppressed and mistreated and restrained from all their joy. Their lives were taken for nothing, and yet they were employed. Their freedom were restricted. They could not shout for joy. Their minds were in bondage. Their bodies were in chains. Their leaders were in prison, and there was none to blame. Our brothers have cried a distant cry, my heart was sore with pain. To see all my brothers, how they are bound in chains. I heard their cry beneath the leaves, a cry of sore and grief. A cry that made their heart a pain and brought them down to shame. The sound of affliction and cry that caused our brothers to cry. With famine and disaster that caused their youngs to die. The cry of the African land, liberty will proclaim. For the Lord God has heard you, and the King shall break your chain. Next poem. Yes. That's right. Africans shout for freedom, for victory is at hand. By the closing of this century, we shall all live as one. This creed and time was set by Jah for suffering too prolonged. With distant cry and hunger that won't last too long. African shout! A cruel shepherd has guided you and chased you with many stripes. He did not fear Jehovah, so in anger he take your lives. We see the news, we heard your views, a cry that seems so strong. African shout! In centuries past, the lights were dull while Africans remain in dark. The emperor came and make a claim and take you out of chains. We prayed and begged Jehovah to keep you safe and sound. For survival is the key to freedom, and encouragement brightens your way. African, shout!
Yes, I.
Last year. No cocaine, no morphine, no heroin, no crack. No white rum, no whiskey, no scotch and no rocks. No cigarette, tobacco, and no Captain Black. All sniffing, all smoking, all juggling must drop. All hustling, all juggling, all pushing must stop. This slackness, this madness, there's no time for that. No raping, no killing, and no child abuse. All pushers, all users, there's no damn excuse. I see Kroniga have all the cure for that. Just sit down and meditate and jah and spot. I praise Jehovah and enough blessing that. No cocaine, no morphine, no heroin, no crap. There is a source of natural life. Right through the famine and all through the drought, anyhow you check it, water must about. It come in a all through the water is a source of natural life. Right through the famine and right through the drought, anyhow you check it, water must about. Them use it out fire, it farm in a rain. Some use the source them body when they full up a pain. Water is a source of natural life. It spring from the mountain, it travel through the plain. It farm as a stream, but a water it name. We use it to wash your body, we use it to wash your clothes, we use it to the hose, so water the rose. Water is a source of natural life. Jah put it in the heavens and put it on the ground. In a Jamaica, water circle right round. It come in a frost, it come in a snow, it come in a hail when you get enough rain. Water is a source of natural life. Remember the days of Noah, how Jehovah take enough life, and in a river Jordan, Oshawa baptized. Anyhow you check it, water is divine. Because water is a source of natural life. So last one more. To reject means not to understand. Let this poem startle you and perplex you. Take things as they come. Be alert to notice it and relax to let it drift by. Listen to this poem attentively. This poem is intensified and concentrated. It is spontaneous, overflowing, and full of powerful feelings. For that which is verse, let it be verse. Let it be a dream that will perplex or astonish you. Let it find and shock you. Let it squeeze and dig you. For this is poetry. You can deny yourself the most essential tools in life by not noticing things. Be serious. Pay attention. Forget your passing fantasies and let's define poetry. I will not repeat, rewind, stanza, shuffle, or question what is poetry. It is a mere conductor of electricity with forceful power to block, to suppose, to be intentional silence. Things that are to be around you, for this is poetry. So let the pen keep writing and the typist keep typing while the speaker's voice keeps speaking. Before you sit down to work, stand up, lie down, waiting in line on a bus or in the subway trying to remember what you were thinking. Loosen up, ease your security by relaxing, for this is poetry. I'll make it modern and effective as possible. It will not be artificial. Though it is a will of self-expression, or though it may be self-discovered, you must be alert at hearing, ready to transmit, to receive this information. It will stick with you, bother you, haunt you, overtake, or intimidate you. Give you a peculiar form of freshness. Stop, look, listen. It will open the doors of your meditation to elevate you, because this is poetry. So whether you run, walk, ride, or stumbling in your darkness, not noticing or paying attention or relating to a friend with emotional feelings from the stillness of your actions, whether you make an opening or an ending in the middle of a beginning, I will simplify, set a scene, give a place, show a landscape, making a description of an inspirational feeling. I still say you'll have to stop, look, read, or even listen. Because this is my interpretation of true poetry. Selassie I.
Yes, I. Can I make a request?
I know this gentleman very well, people. Yeah, I mean Uncle Gilbert. It's a good poet. After tree. Yeah.
Selassie I. For all who's from Jamaica who know this big tree in a parade, it's called the dreadlocks tree. The dreadlocks tree is situated in the middle of parade. That is where our forefathers were flogged and sold. They were African descendants used as slaves, and they were traded under the dreadlocks tree in the middle of parade. Bids were made, honorable women were traded, they were raped and nakedly displayed, packed and traded under the dreadlocks tree in the middle of parade. They begged, they prayed, they cried, whoa, and yet they were enslaved. They were flogged, they were mocked, they were robbed of their countenance because their heads were shaved, and they were used as slaves under the dreadlocks tree in the middle of the parade. The tree bear the countenance, it can tell all the tales. Men gather there, children sit and play, others come to pray. But the secret still lies today under the dreadlocks tree in the middle of parade. And now the tree has revealed its glory in the heart of a beautiful city and has placed in history for revealing this mystery as a dreadlocks tree in the middle of parade. Selassie, Rastafari.
Rastafari. Thank you, Brother Gilbert.